You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals. Sideline big on tents.
All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in, I come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know what we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk, we got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's it. All right. So today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in town, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters. Mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
To Amsterdam, I think I only get 3 Polari. You see, when the function finish, right? The egg ball keep them people in it. Oh my goodness. And it's like, after we got a whole tub of sauce, it's like, let's have a little. Mr. Amsterdam, everything shine, shine, shine. I haven't gotten to taste anything because, like I said, I just eat 3 pulori. Everybody complimented the stuff. It was tasty. All of them munch down and come back and load up. Certain places you can go and get proper stuff, but uh, that sauce is more than enough. I appreciate the variety options.
At Lou's Kitchen, it's no idle boast. Call us for the best in Creole food. 653-3205. Lou's, the original Creole chef.
From Paparaibo speaks of birth to quarantines for sons. Where children pledge each faithful heart to guard Guyana's lands, to foil the shock of rude invader who violate our earth, to cherish and defend forever the state that gave them birth. We forge a nation's mighty soul, construct a nation's swing. Freedom or everlasting goal, courage and truth our aim. Unyielding in our quest for peace, like ancient heroes brave, to strive and never cease, with strength beyond the slave. Guyana plant of glorious first to fame prosperity, joining the universal search for worldwide community. Your people whatsoever breathe, they do our polity, with one forever changing great nation's unity.
Marching towards the shining future, courage high, the past is gone. Fearful coming fear and counting out the glory, summon's dawn. Through the storm clouds dark and blowing, through faith lightning flash and flame, one republic of Guyana, glorify Guyana's name. Forward, forward, youthful nation, right with power, the man's might. May his strength forever grant to the strife and season be for right. From Guyana's basement summit to white smoke winds takes thy train. Build thy people, dear Guyana, strong, united, loyal, free. My Guyana, my Guyana, my Guyana. My Guyana, Eldorado, best of all the world away. In my heart wherever I wander, memory enshrineth thee. All my hopes and aspirations, all my longings, only tie everlasting bonds around us as the fleeting years roll by. My Guyana, Eldorado, my Guyana. unfolding and more my destiny, to redeeming lasting splendor for years and lost to me, and the dawning of thy glory, for long, long night is past. Oh, arise, triumphant, glorious, from the ashes of the past. Oh, arise, triumphant, glorious, from the ashes of the past. Oh, my lovely native land, Lord, dear to me, that all the world I see was sun is strand. Pour down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep, the great Atlantic flowed into a fury. For a sleep, at morn, at noon, or entering the crimson sunset's glow, I love thee, I love thee, I love thee. Oh, beautiful Guyana, oh, my lovely native land, Lord, dear to me that all the world I see was sun is round. Pour down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep, the great Atlantic flowed into a fury, flowed into a fury. For a sleep, asleep, at morn, at noon, or entering the crimson sunset's glow, I love thee, I love thee, I love thee. I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free.
Together, my comrades, we will build our new Guyana, a country where all are equal opportunity. So let us begin now to show loyalty to Guyana by showing love and respect for all that it is.
My brothers, my sisters, we will live and die here together. Our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny. For harmonious living, cooperation will be forever. In work and play as we live as strong entities.
Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free.
Well, it's time we settle all the regions in the interior. Our natural resources are there in great quantity. And we will do farming and establish towns by the border. With global food so we could fill all their needs.
My greatest desire is to serve my country, Guyana, and sincerely help my Guyana to move along. Our government asks us that we study hard and be learn the things that will help Guyana to
up strong. Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy, and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free, to help develop Guyana the free. We hail the Guyana, our country, our home. From coast to the hinterland, your wonders abound. Your mountains are ornaments, all with beauty crowned. We'll always live in a valley, wherever we roam. We sing of Guyana in village and town. We pledge our allegiance as onward we go. United together, our strength we will show, and build a new Guyana, a land of renown. We love you, Guyana. Yes, may you be our flag we will honor, our motto uphold. Inspired by our leaders, our destiny will hold, and proudly face the future, undaunted on we. With humble hearts and heads bowed down, we dance for each new day of toil. We bow before thy golden Lord, the children of Guyana's song. Great is the task that thou hast given, thy will to show, thy truth to find, to tell ourselves that we are one in thy great universal mind. Woods not in wind we strike the hill, and Guyana great and free, a land of glory and of hope, a land of love and unity. O children of Guyana, rise, rise up and sing with happy tears, and bless the land that gave you birth, and vow to serve her through the years.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today. Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going. Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At Easy Party Rentals side.
I'm singing for my lady. She turned my life around. Yeah, this song is for you, lady. You are a queen, you should be singing for crown. So I sing, you're my high and my low. You're my stop and my go. You're my everything. My yes and my no. My high and my low. You're my fast and my slow. You're my everything. My one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love, I say, my one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love. Yeah. I said I used to live my life down in the fast lane. All about riches, all about fame. Big time player in the cheating game. And the lion run wild, me never know him put that game. Now I meet this one, she's like the blood in my vein. Her love is like the sunshine, her love is like the rain. Woman, you take time out to help me ease my pain. You truly deserve my last name. You're my yes and my no. My high and my low. You're my stop and my go. You're my everything. My yes and my no. My high and my low. You're my fast and my slow. You're my everything. My one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love, I say, my one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love, yeah. Woman, me got the day when you come in on me arm. They through earthquakes, snow and storm. You show tears to find out that I want. You want a great time, and you keep me calm. Time get cold, and you keep me warm. In a Jamaica, I rub out the storm. Just till dawn, night till morn. Woman, now you alone turn me on. You're my yes and no. My high and my low. You're my stop and my go. You're my everything. My yes and my no. My high and my low. You're my fast and my slow. You're my everything. My one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love, I say, my one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love. I said, I used to live my life down in the garden. All about riches, all about fame. Big time They are in the cheating game. When the lion go live, me never know it's a game. No one is the party like the blind of the bird. Run up is like the sunshine, turn up is like the rain. But when you take time out to love peace for men, you truly deserve last name. You're my yes and my no, my high and my low. You're my stop and my go. You're my everything. My yes and my no, my high and my low. You're my fast and my slow. You're my everything. My one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love. I said my one in a million. Nothing compares to your love. Compared to your love.
Blessed love. Heal the item. Respect the item. Morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 34 on the 13th day of October in the year 2025. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Welcome to another program. Let me take a minute to wish that special person a happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday to you. I know you had that big celebration last night. I hope you enjoyed every single moment of it. And I wish you more life from them. You know, in Guyana, we talk about the PPP and we say 5 more years from them. I say enough more years from them. Big up yourself and go on. Stay strong, stay positive. Continue to work towards the achievement of those goals, short, medium, and long term. Yes, big up yourself. And like I said, it's Monday. It's another Monday. It's the Monday after the Friday. Was it the Day of Infamy? I remember that movie. There was a movie called The Day of Infamy. I think it's a war movie. Yeah. Was Friday the Day of Infamy? Was it? Or was it Thursday? Sometimes I lose track of my days. Was it Thursday or was it Friday? You know what I'm talking about. I know all of you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the swearing in of regional councillors and the voting for chairpersons and vice chairpersons and so on and so forth. I sat here, that's Friday. I sat here and I shared with you my thoughts on how these things should turn out. Right? I remember focusing a whole lot of my energies and explanations on Region 4, where there was a tie basically, because the PPP had won the popular vote. The PPP had 17. Sorry, the PPP had 17 seats, or have 17 seats at the regional council. The APNU had 9, or have 9. Green have 8, and Forward Guyana Movement had 1. Now, I took my time to explain to those who are listening the different possibilities of what can happen at the region. But you know, they say you always cater for the anomaly, I want to call it, out of left field. Right? Out of left field came a big upset at Region 4. Big upset to Region 4. Share the life. It is I don't see enough people on this live for whatever reason. So you always share the life. Start sharing your life. Right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Region 10. And definitely we'll talk about Region 8. We definitely will. And we're going to talk about what we call a Pyrrhic victory. Victory at what cost? Winning at what cost? Then you know the story of the dog and the bone. We're going to talk about the dog and the bone. And we're going to talk about what to expect going forward. In the meantime, share the life. Click. share, subscribe, do what you have to do, because this morning we're going to have some interesting discourse, or at least I consider my perspectives interesting. Good. So I want us to look at some interesting perspectives. Let me call them that. But again, I'm encouraging you to do what? Share the live. In the meantime, we always take a musical break, and I want us to have one. I want us to listen to some good music while we wait for you to share the live and build the audience.
DJ Tyler.
Come, let me rock you this morning. Rock you with information and facts and analysis.
Hey girl, long time no see. Do you have a little time to spend with me? I wanna know what's been going on in your life. Talk to me, baby. Your hair, perfume you wear brings back memories of you and me. You look so fine, you blow my mind all over again. So much.
Let me stick up in here and ask you this question. For those of you who looked at the outcomes of the regional, the IDC, swearing in of IDC councillors, and the outcomes of the elections, the chairman and vice chairman and so on, do you see any relation between the outcomes in this song? It would, according to GHK Lal, as a matter of fact, GHK Lal says the PNC has gone back to its original place, or it has gone back home. I guess somewhere along the line I'll have to play the green grass of home for you, right? Because there's this argument that the PNC went back to its natural home. The PNC came out of the PPP, and they've been apart for quite some decades. And so when push comes to shove, they naturally gravitated back home. That is what GHK are saying. And so I'm saying, if that is the case, I can imagine the folks over the PPP or even at the PNC singing this song to each other, long time no see. Do you have a little time to spend with me? Let's go on.
Has happened in my life since we
I want to know what has been happening since we parted.
What about you? Now I've got myself together, and I know just what I want. And right now, I know that it's you. Rock me tonight for old time's sake, baby. Roll with me tonight for old time's sake. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna love you real good. Come on, let me do it now. You know I could. I really miss the way you squeeze and moan and call out my name. Whoa, you can call me baby. I remember you like to take your time to get in the mood. Ooh, yes you do, yeah. But once you're in the mood, you like to go straight to the groove. Oh, yes you do, girl. It's been so long since we've had
love in you, girl. Fire and desire will burn in you forevermore. Oh, rock me tonight. Oh, time say, baby.
Rock with me tonight for time's sake. You have a little time to spend with me? Is that what the PPP was asking of the PNC, the APNU, I mean? Or is that what the APNU was asking of the PPP? Or did they ask the same question of the WIN? Of WIN? Let's understand this. I see somebody saying GHK Lal is owned by WIN or the Mohammed, something to that extent. Let me say this. I don't like us when we are quick to align and malign people because they say or do things that are not in keeping with what we would like to see them do or say. Right? The thing is, in this society here, when people are saying the things that we like to hear, we embrace them, we own them, we claim them, we pick them up. And as soon as they say something which is contrary to our beliefs or what we would like to hear, we are ready to nail them to the cross and we're ready to malign them and so on and so forth. I don't know who owns GHK Lal. I believe GHK Lal is his own big man, right? And he has an opinion and he's entitled to that opinion. Like I have an opinion and I am entitled to that opinion. And so this morning, maybe I would be accused of being owned by somebody or stuff like that. Because one of the first things I want to say is the outcome of all of these elections to chairman and vice chairman and so on, the final result has certainly said something to us. First thing I reminded somebody recently is, in my mind, note I said in my mind, there will be no PNC without PPP. Or there will be no APNU without PPP. Let me put it that way. And likewise, there will be no PPP without APNU or PNC. Right? I can't remember if that is what we call symbiosis. The word just dropped into my head. Maybe from one of them very early biology classes that I took. But in short, the two of them are dependent on each other for their survival. The two of them are dependent on each other for their survival. If PPP doesn't misbehave in government, there might be no relevance. PNC doesn't misbehave in government, there might be no relevance to the PPP. It's as simple as that. And I think when you can come to the point of acknowledging that these two major political parties are basically dependent on each other for their survival, then you can understand some outcomes at the end of some days. It's as simple as that. That is how I see it. Disagree with me, cost me if you like, it really doesn't bother because that's my opinion and I'm entitled to it. Good. From where I said I would think that it is in the interest of the APNU and the PPP to ensure that WIN gets the toughest time to survive in this political environment. Just as how the AFC came, announced their presence, and eventually fizzled out, that should be the aim of the PNC and the PPP, and I have no doubt that that would be the aim, to ensure that they win. The new kid on the block. Oh, that's another song I should play. Johnny come lately, new kid in town. Everybody wants you. Till the next comes around. Right? I think that any political organization worth its salt that has history would aim to ensure that they destroy win before it can go. But Marley say every time I plant a seed, every time I plant a crop, Sheriff John Brown used to destroy it before it go. Say kill them before you go. Kill them before they go. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Why? Sheriff John Jones always after me. Every time I plant a crop, he destroys it. He said kill it before it go. And so since my survival is dependent on it, I got to do something about Sheriff John Jones. Right? Marlon Asher say, I'm the ganja farmer. Right? Deep down in the earth, me put my ganja. Babylon come and they destroy my crop. So me pick up my M16 or whatever. Again, it's about survival. Politics is about survival of ideas and survival of people. At least a lot of people put their survival, economically and otherwise, on politics. On politics. And they say politics makes strange bedfellows. And if you're talking about survival, they got a whole saying also, contrary wind make Karen Co and Kiskadi end up on the same limb. And if you pay attention to nature, you would know that Kiskadi and Karen Co don't line the same way, same place. Because as soon as Kiskadi see Karen Co is fight. Because they recognize Karen Co as it might not be Karen Co, whatever you call them, chicken hack. They recognize it as a threat to their survival, the survival of the young. Because chicken hack always going and raid carry Kiskadi, nest and eat the chicks and so on. And so they don't line in the same place. But contrary wind, that make them up on the same branch. And politics makes strange bedfellows. And so, if you're in politics, like Teacher George Young used to say, I get two stomachs. One of your stomach got for stand all the nastiness and dirtiness that is involved in politics. The other one, I guess, is your mere survival, eating and digesting and so on. You gotta get two stomachs. So one of the first things you need to know and understand in this political game, as some people call it, is that nothing is written in stone. Nothing is written in stone. Your worst enemy today could be your ally tomorrow. Because why? It is about survival. What are you prepared to do to survive as a political being? What are you prepared to do to survive as a political party, a political institution? I tell people, regardless of how nasty the political fight is out there, somebody from each of those political organizations is whispering in somebody else's ears from another political organization. Marley answered, "What's wrong with you? You corrected me with Jones and Brown. That ain't matter for me. I just got in names, partner. This ain't no exam, you know." Anyhow, thank you. It's Sheriff John Brown. What's the difference between Brown and Jones? Anyhow, right? I guess the idea is gotten. Regardless of how the political battle is nasty out there, who cussing who? somebody is whispering in somebody's ears from the other political organizations, because they recognize that nothing is written in stone and that day might come when all of them got to face each other and have a conversation as to the way forward. The other day, I heard Professor Dr. David Hines playing Sparrow on his program. He opens the program with calypsos usually. And he said, I'm going to dedicate this one, and you're going to be surprised as to who I dedicated to. And he dedicated it to Donald Ramatar. And he explained that he and Donald Ramatar, despite the fact that they've been on different political sides, they remain friends since the youthful days in politics, etc., etc. I think I heard him say they would normally talk to each other maybe twice a week, maybe every day. All of them. But the political party from which Donald Ramatar comes, the representatives would cuss David Hines every single day and call him the most racist of persons. So that might have been a revelation for some. Wait, David Hines and Donald Ramatar are friends and they discuss you out so. So as political beings and supporters of political parties, I would advise the public, this is something you understand. As a youth man growing up, we used to say, and I still say, all of them when you see that they're cussing one another in public over politics and so on, when the lights are out, if night should turn there, you would find a lot of them clinking glasses together. Some of them might be locking lips together. And so, understand that. When you understand that, then there are no surprises to you. There should be no surprises to you. Okay? That's my caution to you. That is, if you want to call it my caution statement. That's my caution to you. So now let's understand this. For the political neophytes, there's the word. The newbies, the newcomers, the Johnny-come-latelys, the win. I am saying to y'all right now, y'all drop the ball. You drop the ball. You come out to left field as a newcomer. And things look as though they're happening for you, and because things are happening for you, you tell yourself that, I am untouchable. I'm unbeatable. No. A man is still a man. Whether he succeed politically in 3 months or 3 years or 3 decades, a man is still a man. And this is learning for the people of Atwin. And since I read somewhere that they were being, or the AFC was approached, and the members who were approached were given the go-ahead by the Essential Committee, or whatever you call it, to mentor people over at WINNIN and so on. I want to say, I get bad advice. Mentorship perhaps failed y'all, or y'all simply didn't take the advice. You have to understand the difference between a majority and popularity. After the elections, the PPP was quick to say, statements were made to say the PPP won Region 4. And then at some point in time, the Barlet Tyrant came out and said, hey, we didn't win Region 4. We ain't claiming we win Region 4. We won the most votes in Region 4 as a single block. We won the popular vote, if you will call it that. We are 17. And the others, the next thing close to our 17 is APRU 9. Then Win 8. Forward Guyana Movement 1. Win didn't take that position in Linden. Win said, we won Linden. We won Linden. We won Region 10, as a matter of fact. But look at the configuration of votes there. Win had 9. I hope I'm remembering these numbers. I don't want y'all accuse me of being dunce. Win got 9. APNU got 5. PPP 3 and Forward Guyana Movement 1. So when you look at it, it's 18 is a spread of 18. Win got 50%, and the others got 50%. So they didn't win. We equal. We got a popular vote. And so when you recognize, or when you understand the dynamics, then you're going to know how to play the game. I sat here and I explained out of my little ignorance gathered from Buxton back there outside. I said, this is how things can play out. This is what is expected. But now I'm learning that Win refused in Region 10 to share the spoils. It's a 50-50 spoil. You didn't get all. You ain't get 70%, you ain't get 60%, you ain't get 51%, you get 50%. And so it could go either way. And since it could go either way, you want to secure yourself by getting somebody to lean on your side. But guess what happened? At least from where I'm sitting, this is how I see it happening. Leading up to the elections, a lot of discourses are taking place about forming coalitions. And a lot of bridges were burnt. I heard conversations, I think, from Michael Bailey. Y'all forgive me for Bailey, forgive me if I quote you wrong, but I'm sure I heard Michael Bailey say when Win was approached by several groups to coalesce, it was clear that Win wasn't willing to join anybody. Win wanted everybody to join them. In other words, Win wasn't willing to give, but Win wanted to get. That is greedy man. Greedy man is vexed 2 times. 2 times greedy man is vexed. And since you burn some bridges leading up to the elections, I guess some people still in their feelings. And so going forward, we're going to tackle this one and we're going to tackle the one and we're going to get the one nothing. And so the question is, did Win approach Forward Guyana Movement to say, hey, come on board with us. Support us with your 1 vote. If you support us with our 1 vote, we can get 10, you know. And so the other 8 can win we. And in exchange for your 1 vote, I keep telling people like say, what you bring to the table, you only bring 1. But 1 is a significant numeral. If you ain't got 1 in front of 0, it ain't nothing. If you ain't got 1 behind 0, it's still ain't nothing. 1 is very significant. And so if you approach FGM and say, we did say to the public, we ain't coalescing, as Guyanese say collate, we ain't collating with PNC or APNU, we ain't collating with PPP. Yeah, Win the say so. Yeah, remember that? Win the say so. And so, all right, if we collate with any of these 2, then we would be reneging on what we said to our supporters. But we never tell them we ain't going to collate with Forward Guyana Movement or any other party. And so let us go to Win, to FGM and say, listen, give me your vote. And if you give us your vote, we're going to give you something in exchange. Note I said something in exchange because in my mind, it did not have to be chairman because Win get the popular vote, they're going to want chairman, yes. Maybe it didn't have to be vice chairman because WIN get a popular vote, they're going to want vice chairman, yes. But let me tell you all something that a lot of people don't know. You see the works committee in the regions? The works committee in the region is a powerhouse. The finance committee in the region is a powerhouse. Did you consider offering Forward Ghana Movement the works committee or the finance committee? Even if you didn't want to give the vice chairmanship and the chairmanship? No, apparently not. I haven't heard any of that discussion. And so you didn't try to form an alliance with anybody to secure yourself. You tell yourself you're the Lone Ranger. You could go it alone. Not recognizing that if all of those that you aim to shut out were to support each other because they recognize you're greedy, and since you're greedy, we ain't playing with you. You're going to try and play with yourself. You didn't recognize they're going to put you in a precarious position. And that is what happened in Linden. You are now in a precarious position. And it's natural. I mean, people calling the APNU all kinds of things. They call the APNU sellout and all kind of things. The WIN supporters call him sellout and win the region. And they conspire with the FGM and the PPP to keep WIN out. I would say nothing farther from the truth. Anybody who is making those claims most likely do not understand the numbers and they don't understand politics. Because the thing is this, Pure Honey, you need to mute, please. If you don't form an allegiance, an alliance with anybody, others are going to form alliances and allegiances with themselves. Or better yet, people going to back themselves. And from what I'm hearing, since you don't want to give the PNC what the PNC asks for, the PNC say, hey, listen, give us two committees. I don't know if it's works and finance. They never tell me which two committees. They say give it. They happen to say give me two committees, and you could take it all the way you want. No, you ain't got nothing to get. All right, give me the vice chairmanship. No, you ain't got nothing to get. We win this region, and we're gonna ensure that you don't get anything in this region. That is our aim. Oh, you want to ensure that I ain't got nothing in this region? All right, good. I come back myself, and so I'm going to put forward a candidate to challenge you. And so the PPP put forward Dominic Blair to challenge Mark Goring for chairmanship. And since the survival of the PPP and the APNU are intertwined, according to my theory, the PPP perhaps saw wisdom in supporting the APNU candidate because it did not have a candidate in the race. And so the results are now tied. And guess what? Who can make the final determination as to who gets the chairmanship? The PPP. The PPP. Because the law says that the Minister of Local Government, who happens to be Sitara Gyal right now, will convene a meeting and have a casting vote. And since the PPP has seen that WIN, in the next go-round possibly, can challenge the status quo and put them under pressure, it is in the interest of the PPP to see the backs of WIN, to crush WIN, to oppress WIN. And so the likelihood is that Sitara Gyal going to give the support to APNU Dominic Blair. Now that is one aspect of the law. Because I'm understanding another aspect says, in instances where there is this tie, a second round of electioneering should take place. A second round of voting should take place. So I want to say this. There's still hope for WIN. But it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. If that second round of voting will take place, then WIN should be negotiating hard with APNU who is now in a stronger position to negotiate. And the negotiation might go this way. We're going to give you the chairmanship. And we want the vice chairmanship and one committee. We want more than we were asking for before. We want more than we were asking for before. And if you can guarantee that, we're going to give you a vote, you're going to get the chairmanship and all else that you want. That's how I see it. That's how I would have played it. Because you, by your greed and infantile behavior, contributed to putting me in a stronger position. But when, and this is something I always tell people, do not cast Win aside because they got resources. The leader of Win, according to them, is Guyanese's richest. He's a billionaire named Azruddin Mohammed. He got money. And so Win said we're going to court. They have 48 or 72 or 48 hours what we going to court if y'all don't fix this thing. In 48 hours or whatever, we going to court. And if we go to court, we're going to see it all the way up to the CCJ. It means that Linden is out for a long haul. Or could be out for a long haul. And as an aside, the same situation is what will obtain with the indictment of Azruddin Mohammed. A lot of people believe that Azruddin Mohammed is going to get shipped out again tomorrow. And so remove an obstacle to PPP, an obstacle to APNU and so on will be removed by the US government. There is something called due process. They got to go through the courts. And Azruddin Mohammed got money and they're going to go all the way to the CCJ so long as the government of Guyana, the government of the day, chooses to respect the laws of Guyana. But let me make this final point on Linden. Because we come into Region 4, just now Region 8. All we can sit here is speculate. All we can do is sit here and speculate. What are we speculating about? Who voted for Dominic Blair? Who voted for Margorin? Where did Dominic Blair's 9 votes come from and where did Margorin's 9 votes come from? That is what we can do. Sit and speculate. Because in a secret ballot, you don't know who voted for whom. Suppose now the people, the representatives of the region for Win, did not agree that Mark Goring should be the chairperson. You know, I like to tell you all about a lady that tell me I would walk with you to the finish line to watch you fail. Suppose now there got a set of people on the side of Win that would walk with going to the finish line to watch him fail because once his secret ballot, they will not support his candidacy. Suppose now the representatives of the PPP would rather Win control Region 10 because it has always been trying to wrestle the region out of the hands of the APNU. And so suppose now they threw their votes behind Win. So there are all of these possibilities that one must examine. On what grounds are we saying there was collusion between the PNC, the APNU, the PPP, and FGM to keep Win out? On what grounds? A secret ballot, we don't know. We don't know the heart of the people who are in the RDC there. So it's speculation. But one assumes, as in economics ceteris paribus, I think the term is, all things remaining equal, all things remaining loyal in this instance, all councillors remaining loyal to the team would have voted for the team. One assumes so. But it is also good to assume that some people might not have liked Goring because he's arrogant and he bullish and he full of himself. And we gonna humbly it today because it's secret battle. So that's an assumption. But the reality is, in politics, unless you are willing to compromise, unless you are willing to form alliances, unless you are willing to work with somebody else, unless you got his stomach to make strength bedfellows, your winning turns out to be losing, as we are seeing in Linden. Right now, the Win Party, despite they got a popular vote, it is uncertain as to what they will end up with at the end of the day. I can't recall, and I'm believing there has been no vote for the vice chairmanship, because as long as the issue of the chairmanship is not settled, you can't move on to vice chairmanship. Y'all correct me if I'm right. Right? Y'all correct me if I'm right. And that's why I said it is uncertain what they're going to end up with, because they will whoever gets the chairmanship would have a casting vote when it comes to the vice chairmanship. And so if the APNU again throws the candidate into the race of vice chairmanship, and you end up with a tie, whoever the chairman is holds the key to the vice chairmanship. And so I'm dealing on assumptions again. Who supports Dominic Blair for chairmanship, and so Dominic Blair becomes the chairman, and then they go to the vice chairmanship and they get his tie again. And the negotiation is, we over the PPP get the chairmanship. Yeah, I give you the vice chairmanship. Win is left with nothing. Win is left with nothing. Simply because they wanted everything. And you call that a pyrrhic victory. I say you want to win, but win at what cost? So that's why all of them so anti, and all weekend I see the whole Win crew and the supporters cussing out, and they're cussing out, and they're cussing out, and they're cussing out. They're cussing left, right, and center. And somebody said they're going to cuss me too, but me skin thick, man. I roll up in boxing bag inside mud since I was a youth, man. Sometimes you come out the mud, you're white. When you're going to wash out the mud, you come out, you're white because you get crapo beard, as they call it, all wrong, white with mud water and so. Right, so I could take my cuss, but I just am being me in terms of what my opinions are. I'm entitled to those opinions. I still have a friend who called me and said, you see, Mr. Amsterdam, this thing ain't looking good. How the APNU could behave like that? The APNU trade region 10 for region, trade region 4 for region 10. The APNU gave the PPP region 4 just because they want to control region 10. They make sense. It's best they control region 4 and then whoever thing region 10. Again, it's an assumption that the APNU allowed the PPP to win region 4. There's also an assumption that it is the Win people who allowed the PPP to win region 4. And I will tell you why I want to believe the Win people are the ones who allowed the PPP to win region 4. There's this word, petulant, childish behavior. And this is how it goes. we playing cricket, and because I out and I think I was cheated out, I pick up the bat and I lash down the cricket, lash down the wicket, and I pelt away the ball and I broke the bat. Nobody can play. I'm playing with nobody and nobody can play. From the reports I got from Region 4 election for chairman and vice chairman, remember it was 9 PPP, 17 PPP, 17 PPP, 9 APNU, 8 win 1 FGM. For the opposition parties to win the chairmanship, win APNU and FGM had to vote together. They had to vote as a block. If they had voted together, they would have gotten one more vote than the PPP. They would have gotten one more vote than the PPP. Likewise, again, if one single person, the opposition, because why this thing is behaving like this? Y'all want to talk? Yes, you can tell perhaps who voted with the PPP or where the vote for, extra vote for the PPP came from. You can assume because again it was secret ballot. But here, why you can assume the AP and you turn up one shot. I see Ernest Elliott is on the live, so you can tell me if I'm wrong or right. The AP and you turn up one shot. The AP and you got 8 votes when they had 9 representatives. So the possibility is somebody from AP and you voted with the PPP. What was also clear, or it is assumed that the people from WIN did not vote because they behaved childishly. Oh, they give you a hard time in Linden. They put up a candidate and so we tie in Linden and we ain't know what's going to happen there. We are uncertainty. We ain't voting for them. We ain't voting with them. And we ain't voting for nobody in Region 4. And when they check the ballots in Region 4, on some of the paper, there are things like sellout. If somebody writes sellout, and you listen to the narrative of the WIN General Secretary and others, you're hearing that they call in the AP and you sell out. So that sellout there might come from somebody in WIN. And so you see a set of blank ballots. There were a set of blank ballots in Region 4, and some had unsavory things written on them. One would assume that it was the WIN's representatives behaving petulantly, they were behaving childishly, that because they had this hard time in Linden, we're going to block up everything. We ain't playing with them. And so again, because of that arrogance and that petulance, they allowed the PPP to walk away with everything when, quite frankly, I believe the PPP was expecting nothing. But to spin the narrative, because here politics is narrative, you know. Politics is a whole lot about narrative. To spin the narrative, they say the PP, I think Tabitha Sarabo-Hali, my former WPA colleague and comrade, said the APNU prefers PPP over WIN. Is it that the APNU preferred PPP over WIN? Or is it that Win behaved amateurish, petulantly, and caused the PPP to walk away with everything? There's an African proverb which says, when brothers fight, strangers inherit. When all y'all on the same side in that the opposition side fight, the PPP inherited. And that is what happened there from where I'm sitting. That is what I recognize. Now I want to go to Region 8. Dennis McKenzie, you'd like me to say Dr. Hines' daughter? I'm not a gynecologist. I'm not, I wasn't there between the adults and so on and so forth. And so I can't say Dr. Hines' daughter, because I don't know her to be Dr. Hines' daughter. I know there's a familiar relationship between Dr. Hines and her and her family and so on, but I don't know her to be Dr. Hines' daughter. So you can't get me to say it's Dr. Hines' daughter. Right? Maybe when Dr. Hines hosts this program this evening or sometime, you can ask him if it's his daughter and let him give you the explanation. I'm not a spokesperson either. Good, but I don't know her to be Dr. Hines' daughter, and I rest my case there. But when we go to Region 8, we see the importance of one vote. We see the importance of one single vote. Because in Region 8, it was a three-party race. Win, PPP, APNU. APNU had one. A solitary one. Only one APNU had. But that one was Kingmaker. That one was Kingmaker. And anywhere that one leaned was going to decide the outcome. And so again, it was important to negotiate. But we recognize the importance of your one, you know. Your one will decide who gets anything here, whether chairman or vice chairman. But in life, you don't get nothing for nothing. Or you don't get something for nothing. And so, give us your one for chairman. And we will give you our 9 for vice chairman. In other words, you back us a chairman, we're going to back you for vice chairman. So, both of us win. And we're going to go down the line like that. Give us your 1 for the works committee, we're going to give you 1 for the finance committee. Or the 9 for the finance committee. Give us 1 for the whatever. And so we got to share the spoils because the one is Kingmaker. And if the PPP is willing to do that, then the PPP going to turn out victorious. And if Win is willing to do that, then we're going to turn out victorious. But again, for some reason, it would appear as though the Win candidates, the Win councillors didn't get the memo. All the mentorship that I understand the AFC people were supposed to be giving them. Like either they didn't get the mentorship or they didn't understand the mentoring. And so the ball was dropped again and PPP walked away smiling. The PPP walked away smiling and the APNU walked away smiling because the instruction that came from the hierarchy of the APNU is, in all of these negotiations that are going on all over, y'all vote for who will vote for y'all. Who scratch you back? Scratch you back. And so the PPP region, they say, hey, we're going to scratch y'all back, APNU. Y'all one very important to us. And so the APNU representatives say, well, we're going to scratch you back too. And so here we are. The PPP seem to be dominating everything because the PPP was willing, I would think, to negotiate on some things and be bullish on other things. I guess experience taught them where they could win and where they could lose, and how they could win and how they could lose. In the meantime, WIN is apparently blowing in the wind, still wondering what the final outcomes will be for them. A word of caution. A word of caution. Yes, Beverly Livingstone, as far as I know, a person's vote is secret, private. It's none of their business. And so I think the secret ballots were quite legal. Of course, the law provides for objections to be made, and arguments to be made. And when it is objected to, when secret ballot is objected to, then it got to go to vote. Because there are two propositions on the table, secret ballot as against a show by hands or whatever, ballot. And so since some of us don't agree with secret ballot and some agree with secret ballot, let's put it to a vote as a democracy. So the question is, was there a call for a vote to determine whether the ballot was secret or not? And was that call disregarded? I think it's called a conscience vote. Right? A secret balloting basically allows a conscience vote. I ain't following no party line. I will vote my conscience, and I don't want people to know how I vote. And so let us do it secretly. And in some instances, I will not vote my conscience, I will vote my pocket. If the financial, what do you call it, inducement has been big enough, I'm willing to vote even against my conscience. There's politics in this world. Democracy is for sale. And so, yes, I think the secret ballot is legal. Whether the process at arriving at the secret ballot was followed is another question. I don't know. Right? So I was about to say this now. For me, as the gambler says, you gotta know when to walk away and know when to run. For me, the deal is done in relation to the regional elections. I mean, there's still got Linden to be determined and so on. But I hope it is a lesson for WIN. I hope it's a lesson that they will learn and learn well. So when they get to the National Assembly, the attitude will be different. I hope the attitude will be different. Because again, in the National Assembly, they need some amount of collaboration. I mean, when you put all the opposition parties together, they still can't control the House. They still can't control the House. But some amount of collaboration will be necessary. That's my advice. Don't go into the National Assembly bearing malice. Get a fresh start. Please and thank you. You are voted to represent people. Go and represent them. And I got this perhaps light at the end of the tunnel to share with the WIN supporters and the WIN representatives in particular. All is not lost. All is not lost. Whatever thy hands find to do, do it with all thy might. And I'm saying this. You have been given a hand in all of these regions where the PPP got chairman and the AP and younger vice chairman, you have been given a hand to function as the opposition to the status quo. Because if you ask me, PPP chair, AP and you vice chair, they represent, in this instance, I call them the government, the leadership of the region. And therefore, you are in opposition to the leadership of the region. And you should make life hell for the leadership of the region. Every little thing you go there, you cry like a bitch. Excuse me language. You become a big crybaby. And show the people in the regions that you're really about representing them and standing for their interests, because the chairman and the vice chairman, they're up there, they're making decisions that are not in your best interest, and Win got your best interest at heart. And so Win, you got to go out there and you got to work. And that might ensure your survival. But don't go being pity partiers. Don't go crying. They're colluded. Politics is collusion. The PPP colluded with GCOM to steal the election from Halloween. It's collusion. The internationals colluded with the PPP to rob every single Guyanese of their inheritance by keeping the PPP in power so that they could rape this country left, right, and center. Politics is collusion. But you got to know to play the hand that you've been given. And I giving you free mentorship here. You're not paying me nothing, and I expect nothing in return. My mentorship says that in those regions where the APNU and the PPP control chairmanship and vice chairmanship, you are officially, and you are opposition, but you are officially, in my mind, the only opposition in those regions. And so make it show for something. So again, I said, Pyrrhic victory, winning at what cost? The APNU might have been able to secure the chairman, vice chairmanship in several regions because of all that transpired. But is it within their best interest to hold those positions in the name of representing their people? Can you represent your people, and can you be more effective at representing your people as a mere counselor on the RDCs? Or was it necessary to be within the hierarchy? Was it more prudent to be at the wheel? Let me call it that. To represent your people. Or it would have been more prudent to remain a mere counselor and fight tooth and nail to hold those who are controlling the wheel accountable. That question I want to left in the air, and somebody who are more political smarts than me could answer. And the lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. But you know me, I gotta play a tune. That was a tune before we got there. There's one thing I want to say. I paused the music to say this because it kept slipping in and out of my mind. When I saw the failure of Win to agree to quote unquote share power with APNU in those regions where the possibility existed, I asked myself, is this a phenomenon of the hate Army Norton? Destroy Army Norton at all costs. Continuing, because a lot of the big wigs over at Win are people who left the APNU under the leadership of Army Norton. And so I was asking myself, is this hatred so deep that they cannot even bring themselves to form an allegiance with the Army Norton-led APNU to keep the PPP out? Would people say they rather cut their nose and spile their face? Is that what we saw happening? Is that why the people over at Win were so adamant we ain't giving y'all nothing in Region 10? I understand going and say, no, y'all can't get nothing. We intend to bury y'all in this region. Is the hatred that deep to the extent that it impacted your own judgment as to what the outcomes would be if you take certain positions? It is something that crossed my mind. And so since it crossed my mind, since the votes took place, it crossed my mind. And so I'm asking you that question too. Do you think that had an impact on these decisions? Very poor decisions, I dare say.
I could hardly believe it when I come and get it straight from you. You said you were leaving, someone swept your heart away. From the look on your face, I see it's true. So tell me all about it. Tell me about the plans you're making. Oh, tell me one thing more before I go. Tell me how am I supposed to live without you? Now that I've been loving you so long, how am I supposed to live without you? And how am I supposed to carry on?
Is it the question that the PPP was asking the PNC, APNU, and APNU was asking the PPP? Why are we going to live without each other? When they up, we are we going to survive without each other if we don't find a solution? According to GSK, at some point in time, the Barlet Taiwan say, the PPP, the PNC, the APNU got to get rid of this hatred. They got to forget this hatred. We got to work together. So, the same thing we asking with. How are we going to survive if we can't work together? Call it on. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. Let me answer your question. No, first of all, let me say my favorite words, my powerful words. I am responsible for what I said, not how you interpret it. Thank you, poor people governor, for the words them. Because a judge demonstrate those words, not how you interpret it. When that judge set my black brother free from Buxton, who then chuckled his foot because he said, turn the gun, point the gun somewhere else. Stop fine print. Stop pointing to human being in your country. pointed to the boards up in the air, not a human being, but they interpret it like if the man is criminal. Like if the man killed two Cody boy and Mark X on their face. Like if the man and get other black men to go with him to destroy black children going home from school. Find the gun somewhere else. Thank you, Judge. Flash God don't know you, but I give you credit to understand the word. I am responsible for the head, not how you interpret it. My brother should sue the government now for put shackle on the foot for something that he innocent of. Move on, Flat Garden. Let me answer your question. Exactly, they did that to penalize my leader, Abi Nathan, but they cannot keep a good man down. Because I believe God don't receive them prayer that be bouncing up and down, and come January, I'm not predicting, I'm telling all of them who are slave catcher, the number one slave catcher is Odessa. And better days coming for she next January. Enjoy your Christmas. Because the wicked, every information and plan what PNC put out there, they take it towards the win party Mahmoud. That is why they go punish. If them in repent and say, Lord, forgive me, I've acknowledged the wrong thing I've done to the citizens of Guyana, especially black people. Let me call upon Mark, my good friend Mark Benslap, Simon Brooms, and Nigel London. And the last one, the man in the ring, Tewan Duncan, are you get to Mel and stop Mel. Stop is what she's doing. She's destroying black people's life in Guyana. She's making problem for black people. She's keeping black people apart, which is nonsense. And she's disrespecting my leader, Abi Nathan. It is time for she to pack it up because she parents them to blows if you don't understand them. This word coronavirus mess with a lot of black people's brains. And it's time for you call her and tell her, back off and leave black people alone in Guyana because they're punishing black people. When she could come out and use a word that, that black man rigged the election and PNC was forcing David Granger for apps. What is wrong with that girl, Mel? When she going to stop? It is time for our friend Simone Brooms. You and she's personal friend, tell her to stop. She used the word, said, hey, you could come for me. She wouldn't like people go for her. She got to stop this nonsense because I know she's destroying people's life in Guyana. Take your $35,000 and go. And I'm glad Abi Nathan did not go and sit down with Odessa. Because you sit down with Odessa, you're sitting down with Mel, and Mel mouth split. She keep leaking things all the time because Odessa going to get you on phone and tape everything you said and going direct to me. And Mel will release everything, come back next day and talk. I don't believe that APNU 12 disciples should sit down no time with Win because are you sitting down with your greatest enemy in the world, Mel? This is my message to our mother and grandmother that live in Guyana. Tell your daughter, granddaughter, to stop she nonsense because she offending people. She already met one young man kill himself in America. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call. I don't have any evidence to support the things that Flash Gordon has just said. And so I want to distance myself from them. I continuously say I'd rather us discuss the issues rather than the personalities. But that's what we're into. That is what we're into. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time.
Greetings. Oh, sorry.
Yes, go right ahead. You can speak.
Greetings to you, my brother. I just want to be able to say one thing, and I thank you very much for allowing me on your program too. I have witnessed 12 years of carnage from 2000 to 2012 from the PPP and continuous on the bar Jack Deal when he was president. I worked around him as a policeman, as a bodyguard, and I've seen what the PPP had done to our communities, for want of a better word, black communities. And to my brother, I just want to say one thing to you and to your and to the listeners who are listening to you here this morning. There is no uncertain terms I would sit and make any arrangement with the PPP when they had spent all those years unaliving 1,480 plus Afro-Guyanese. Those things I will never forget. It's hard for me to sit and make a deal or a bargain with the devil. Thank you very much for allowing me up on your program.
Thank you for your comment. I want to say this. When you are, I'd say, a nationalist, when you think about national development and you think about your people's development and so on, sometimes you make hard decisions. Like I said, contrary when make Kiskadi and Chickenhawk end up a same wire. Yes, I personally, if you ask me to go make a deal with the PPP, I'll tell you to hell. I have no interest in working with the PPP on anything because they are a set of demons. Likewise, I personally have no interest in working with WINNIN anything because Azuddin Mohammed and the Mohammed family has been in bed with the PPP all the time. So all of them are involved in the same wickedness. But let me backpedal a little bit. I grew up knowing and accepting that the PNC, Forbes Bonham, has been accused, and according to the findings of the Commission of Inquiry and so on, had, I would say, perhaps was the intellectual author of the murder of Walter Rodney. But after some decades, the WPA recognized that unless they joined forces with the PNC, they weren't going to see the backs of the PPP. And the PPP was doing tremendous harm to this country. Right? I use that example to say that in politics, sometimes the moment arrives where you got to swallow some bitter pill. Like I say, my countryman say, you got to get two stomach. Sometimes you just got to stomach it because it's to the better of your people. And I think giving a chance, giving an opportunity like Aubrey Norton and the AP, you're saying, we reached out to win. Win was not willing to play ball with us. And we saw the importance of representing our people. So even if we had to make a deal with the devil, we made that deal. Just me bringing some level of clarification. Hopefully, it's clarification to the discourse. Caller on the computer, you can mute and speak.
Morning, Kadaki. This weekend was very traumatizing to me. To listen to people calling me and saying Aubrey sell out. We now see why Aubrey was selling out. We now see what's going on. I said, okay, all right, fine. Explain. Tell me why. Oh, you didn't hear what was Yes, sir. Oh, I in a little holy. Yes, but everyone was basing their opinion on what Melly Mel was saying, you know? And Melly Mel now is the new female Dr. Love. That is what I'm gonna call her. Why should she be the crafter of the way people think? And this is why I had to say this weekend, Guyana have got nothing more than sheeples. They do not form an opinion for themselves. They do not sit and decipher things and think for themselves. The mathematics this weekend was stick man mathematics. You know, when we go to school, they give you math stick for count. That was the mathematics, and they all failed. And listening to that girl, how she running on and getting angry or lose herself. But I'm gonna say something, Melly Mel. Your thing over here ain't done yet, you know. You continue to flare up. Forget about the people who were out there protesting you. Continue to flare up, right? You're on a slippery slope. Continue to hate those who supported you in your time of need. I am so happy I didn't give nothing to that GoFundMe. I am so happy, right? But to our people, listen to the people over here. I'm going to say this again. Listen to the people over here that crafting your mind and making you divide your couple of people home there. Did you see the Indian people fighting this weekend about how the votes went in Region 10? No, they did not. But it's our people continue to be self-righteous instead of become politically mature and disciplined. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open 6225933. Hey, it's 4 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Hey, this class took a long time. Let's see. We have a call. Call you on. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. As Terence Campbell said, be careful what you name your children. I agree with him. I also believe that you got to careful who you follow on Facebook and Instagram and those things, because they will lead you into a pit. You see, concerning this whole thing during this weekend, some of them who run out from the win, it showed a level of political illiteracy when them run out. And I'm glad they run out because it exposed them that how they're clueless about politics. Big up Aubrey, big up David Hines, who have political, big up Amsterdam, who have political insight. So, for example, Guyana have 5 seats. Let's say, for example, PPP get 32, PNC get 32, and WIN get 1 seat. Although most people would have voted for the two main party, WIN would have get the powerful vote, the swing vote. So it doesn't have nothing to do with who more people favor or who more people in favor. Whoever the one vote say, which side they're going on, them is who gonna run the thing, and them is who gonna take up office. It's the same thing happening in Linden, but the win people them so illiterate politically, they don't understand. Even the leader come out, oh, we get the majority, we win Linden, we get the majority. Jack Dio have political insight. Jack Dio said we didn't win Region 4. So win coming thing and they're running out. Mr. Amsterdam, if win at more than 50% of vote in Linden, they are the same. But once you get more than 50% vote, you're in the region, it means that more people vote against you. So that means you're earning tiger mouth and you got to pat the tiger head. Look, for example, where the tie 8-8 in region 8. That that means Apnu gets win and in tiger mouth, PPP and in tiger mouth. Apnu is a tiger. But still, when people coming out and say, oh, most people vote against us, so we want the chair and we want the vice chair, you aren't in tiger mouth. Apnu is the tiger, so wherever Apnu swing, that's where it gonna go. So these people be careful who you follow on this social media because they're gonna lead you down simple political understanding they don't have. Because the leader for win could come out and say, "Oh, we win Linden." So that me PPP and APNU come together to push us out. He ain't win Linden. He don't know politics. He mixing up general election with regional election. He don't know popular vote. It by his own admission, simple maths. And you want to run party, you want to run politics. Simple thing you don't understand. If you had win it right out, there wouldn't be no need for no election for select the chair and the vice chair. And he come out thinking himself like glad all of them run out. You have careful who you are following the social media, they're gonna lead you along a dangerous path. Thank you, Mr. Salam.
Thank you for your call. It's a minute to 9 o'clock. Let me see. I'm sure there might be voice notes. Let me see if there are any.
Morning, Kidaki. Morning, viewers. Let Melly Mel continue what she is doing. I agree with that caller. Let's spew and let she go on. Let she get on board. Let she try. I am a citizen for this country and not a green card holder. Let Melly Mel try. Social media biggest operative. Let her enjoy it while it lasts. Have a happy and great day.
Good morning, Ms. Sampson, and good morning, viewers. The Win Party, those in the Win camp, is going to learn. They have a few that went over from the coalition. At least they should know how to negotiate. But instead of that, they're cussing the PNC. And when you talk about costs, that individual in New York, she put a trashing on the PNC. That individual, she know everybody's story. Everybody's story she know. While all the while, according to the word in the street, she getting paid from Win Azadine Mohammed. Because a video show when she said her legal fees, she had to get $35,000. And the next video that she said she never collect a cent from Win. So which one? She collect the money or she didn't collect the money? Them in the Win camp is going to learn. She well and cost Mr. Norton and the PNC. And those in the PNC that is friends with her have to be very careful what they're telling her. Be careful with that individual. She's going to put y'all in a lot of problems. Guyanese, especially after Guyanese, it's time I'll come together, work, and assist one another. That is my take for today.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning to your viewers. Kadaki, this regional election, to me, it didn't make much sense, because since I was by I know that Region 4 and Region 10 was always being won by the PNC and the APNU. But since this PPP government took over, they're already spending money to develop these communities, this region 10, look millennial with there. Okay, then no proper drainage, everything just they'll stand still. Region 4, they're looking after their own village. Their own village they're looking after. I will talk to you about your racial and the Indian racial. But you could see they weren't developing them place alone. Look Luziknan, look Buxton, look Monry upon them place. They make sure they develop them place proper. What happened to the black community? Just live like that. last week I was speaking about empowerment. Okay, empowerment. That was very good of you. You know, when you talk, I remember Bornham empower people. Bornham make sure that he give free education from nursery to university. Make sure. And Bornham build more school than any other government without the idle money, without any proper money. I know we used to go assist in building school. My Coney, live in my Coney. My Coney school are built by self-help. People volunteer. And they go when they get half time or when son decided they would go and assist in building that my Coney school. They're built by self-help, and I guess the other secondary school were built by self-help. Born out of vision. And the free education, people that were poor were able to send their children to university. That's why the gap between the rich and the poor and the businessmen, it kind of bridge, because the businessman, the man who could become a doctor after his free education could even buy a car. Okay? Born and build national service, get national service, that people could, when you left school, you could go and you could even far in study. You know, my brother went there at national service and he came out as a fitter machinist with a skill. And I know many others who went to national service, they come out with the skill. But what happened nowadays? You get no after you left school, all you got would go. Just you gotta go online. You can't even know more what and you turn scripts. Let it go make a lot of scripts they make. But Bornham, that man empower people. Even our ancestors empowered one another by this Buxtonian thing, and they were able to pool resources. And I think we should get institutions that we could pool our resources and come together. Bornham Farm Co-op also, that people could have come together and build things and build communities. So we had co-op shop in this village too also. So we could come together, we could pool our resources and come up with ideas and constructing and do things to uplift ourselves. Okay? So that's my take for this morning. Thank you.
When all that I've been living for.
If you're trying to call me, it is after 9. I'm done playing Boy Stokes. I'm done taking calls. I'm closing the program now with this particular selection. Yes, Dennis, but this is not the time to segue into bees. We shall do that on another program.
So much more than friends. I don't want to know the price I'm gonna pay for treatment. Oh, even now it's more than I can take. Tell me how am I supposed to live without you?
Poppers, good morning again.
Now that I've been loving you so long.
Hope you have enjoyed this morning's program, and you will join me tomorrow morning again for another program of this morning time. Thankful to our moderator. She has done a wonderful job, and I do appreciate that. And this is where I take my leave of you. Y'all be safe. If you can, be good, be safe.
Don't need no money.
But remember to work consistently to achieve those smart goals, right? Have a good one.
Don't bring your checkbook, bring your broken heart. 'Cause it remembers only tonight. Say you lost your woman, say you lost your man. You got a lot of problems in your life. Well, they throw in a party for the broken hearted, and it's members only tonight. Go tell mama,
go tell daddy. Goodbye.